Meanwhile, Ukraine is staring at modest counter-offensive advances, with just a few villages in the south and the east recaptured after months of fighting against the entrenched Russian forces. Russian President Vladimir Putin has vowed victory and said during a meeting with defense officials on Tuesday that society had rallied behind the war efforts. Putin is running in an election expected to prolong his rule until 2030.
Ну что же, и мы от своих целей специальной военной операции отказываться не собираемся. Оценивая текущую ситуацию на земле, на линии боевого соприкосновения, можно с уверенностью сказать, что наши войска владеют инициативой. По сути, мы делаем...
Since the offensive began in 2022, the Kremlin has outlawed any opposition to its assault on Ukraine, which is presented as an existential fight against the West. Now, at the Defense Ministry meeting, Putin again accused the West of using Ukraine as a proxy to wage a war against Russia and questioned the legitimacy of the Ukrainian nation. He also said Russian military equipment proved its superiority over Western weapons.
А где нужно, мы улучшаем свои позиции. Противник несет тяжелые потери и в значительной степени растратил резервы, пытаясь показать своим реальным хозяевам хоть какой-то результат своего распиаренного так называемого контрнаступления. Кстати говоря, и миф о неуязвимости западной военной техники также рухнул.
The front line has hardly moved since the Russian retreat from Kherson in 2022. But Moscow's troops are on the offensive again. Volodymyr Zelensky said Tuesday that there was no end in sight to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as fatigue builds among Kyiv's allies nearly 2 years into the war. Zelensky said he had turned down a request from the military for now to mobilize as many as 500,000 Ukrainians for the army. The unpopular proposal could hit his worsening poll ratings among Ukrainians.
І їх погляд був на ставці, що вони запропонували мобілізувати додаткових 450-500 тисяч людей. Це дуже серйозна цифра. Я сказав, що мені потрібно більше аргументів для того, щоб підтримувати цей напрямок, тому що це питання, перш за все, людей. Друге, це питання справедливості. Це питання...
Last week, Zelensky embarked on a tour of Western countries to make the case for more military and political support. But he failed to convince the United States Congress to immediately approve $60 billion in support. While in Brussels, Hungarian leader Orban blocked an aid package of around $55 billion. The Ukrainian president said, and I quote, "I'm confident that the United States will not betray us." Zelensky was facing growing discontent before Russia invaded, before becoming the global face of Ukraine's resistance. He is again feeling political pressure at home. Recent polling shows the number of Ukrainians who trust Zelensky has dropped to 62% compared to 84% 1 year ago. Back then, Kyiv's forces were celebrating gains in the east and the south.
Служба безпеки України здійснює успішні і часто дійсно